Hi everybody, it's Tracy Lewinand.
Peter Murray, how are you, Tracy?
Fabulous, thank you. An awesome day here in Dubai, and I know that you're just back in Zug.
Unbelievable. Wonderful to be back.
Wonderful,
In the
it's
heart
nice
of
to be
Crypto
here.
Valley.
Pardon, Peter, what did you say?
In the heart of Crypto Valley.
In the heart of Crypto Valley. Awesome, absolutely awesome. Well, I'm actually in Dubai, as you know, and this is a very ambitious and very innovative city. So there's a lot of focus on Bitcoin and the blockchain in this country. So expecting huge things from Dubai soon.
Yes.
So Peter, if we can just go through the headlines from last week, well, from this week really. These are all found on our Facebook page, Bit Media. So please join our page. Decentralized Bitcoin market Open Bazaar is now live. Well, this is interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. That is basically a blockchain eBay, and
yes.
You know, it's gonna grow massively. Yeah, so we'll see how it operates and what happens and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be nice.
Yes, and actually, you know, anybody can sell on this market, this Open Bazaar. So, yeah, I think some good stories will come through here.
I suppose good and bad stories, because you know you can sell anything that you like. So we'll see what happens on that front. But
well,
yeah,
today I saw a bad story. Somebody's already listed.
I just want to clarify something there, because people have this whole thing about regulation and non-regulation and people doing bad things and blah blah. It's a law in any country. It's totally irrelevant whether the platform or the computer program or the currency you're doing it in is regulated in that country or not. If somebody steals your wallet in the USA and you've got euros in your wallet, those euros are not regulated in the USA. But you go to the police and say somebody stole your wallet, and the police will, you know, if they can find the person, they will prosecute them for theft. So, and the same thing, if somebody steals a Bitcoin, the police can go. You can go to the police and say, "Look, somebody stole my Bitcoin," and you know, the police will go. If they can find a person, they will prosecute them. You don't have to have something regulated, because there's laws in every country that regulates criminal activity. So if you sell drugs or anything online or in any place, it's illegal. It's immaterial whether the platform is regulated. Google Mail is not regulated, but if you sell drugs by sending somebody, you know, a invoice over email, then you're using email for an illegal activity, and you'll be prosecuted because you're doing that illegal activity. So this whole nonsense that Bitcoin has to be regulated, or that something has to be regulated for you to be prosecuted for illegal activities, absolute hogwash.
Yes, I totally agree there, Peter. So dodgy people around, not Bitcoin dodgy at all. Anyway, the next story.
Bitcoin cannot be dodgy, because that's the whole point. Something like Bitcoin is a computer program. It doesn't have a personality.
Yes.
So it's crazy to even talk about it being dodgy, because it's impossible.
Quite right. Okay, Wirex brings PayPal to Bitcoin conversion to over 30 countries. Yeah, this is quite interesting, because obviously there's more, you know, with more and more consumer adoption, people are wanting to transfer or change their fiat currency into Bitcoin. So it seems to be that PayPal could be one of the answers.
I see that Wirex, and I can understand why. It's because of the high fees in third world countries. They've focused on developing countries.
Yes.
So that's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So check it out. Purse Merchants goes live with more products than Amazon, eBay, or Alibaba. Wow.
That's very interesting. That's another blockchain, you know, basically a blockchain Amazon. So yeah, interesting, very interesting.
Okay, and then the last article, why Bitcoin is better for crime fighters than criminals. So, it's really about the fact that, if anybody wants to fight crime, if somebody's stolen your Bitcoin, law enforcement can actually, they can go into the blockchain because it's actually, you don't need anybody's permission to do so.
That is correct.
And the next one.
So that the blockchain is really a wonderful instrument for having a permanent record of what's happening.
Yeah.
And there's this. I listened to one guy the other day that said we actually now for the first time really have recorded history that is undisputable. Because the problem with recorded history is, how many books the church, tried to or took chapters out of the Bible and out of to the way they want to reflect history. But now with the blockchain, it's there for posterity, and nobody can change it. So we actually have, if we put articles on the blockchain or things that are happening on the blockchain, nobody can ever dispute it again.
Well, that's the reason why they're trying to, they're putting real estate transactions, birth certificates, actually record, records, not records, what do you call it? Music, music and art and all sorts of things like that. Even images they're considering to put on the blockchain. So huge opportunity here.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one actually leads on to the first story, which is Bitcoin privacy for the masses, transparency for the rich. And it leads us into this latest scandal that unfolded this week. The Panama Papers scandal proves Bitcoin's superior accountability. And you know what, Peter? I mean, the biggest leak, they say, in journalistic history. 11 million documents implicating many of the world's government leaders, officials, Forbes-listed billionaires, athletes, banks, as well as jurisdictions such as Panama enabling the corruption. So this is a story.
It's not only Panama. It's like it's Panama. It's all these islands. I mean, it's been on the news all over. People have been hiding money from the taxman for years, and yes, fiat currency lends itself towards these type of structures that are set up to hide money. And people have been using it for a number of years. And the third world has suffered the most, with trillions and trillions of dollars being stashed away by companies and by individuals not paying taxes or moving money around. And, the proof's in the pudding here. 72 world leaders implicated. And like you say, celebrities, everyone. Hiding stuff offshore. So this is while I was in the UK, it's in the news all the time.
Yes.
So even the Prime Minister is in the news. The Icelandic Prime Minister actually had to resign, and now the guys are saying they're demanding a new government totally in Iceland.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going to happen, but there's just more and more names coming from this Panama Papers, and because there's no accountability. I mean, they even, we have all these systems that's put in place to manage fiat currency. But you know what? They're all reliant on people, and people are fallible. Whereas Bitcoin is reliant on a system.
Yes.
A computer program that cannot be altered.
Yes.
So it's much more superior in accountability, much more.
Absolutely, totally agree there. Yeah. Anyway, this is a story that we're definitely going to watch closely. We spoke about Bedwall before, but here's a headline. Bitcoin services platform Bedwall closes 800,000 euros in seed funding. And Bedwall is the service that enables fiat currency transfers from people, if to put their salaries in or whatever it is.
Well, what happens is you can actually ask your company to pay you in Bitcoin, and then you can pay any European or UK invoice by instructing Bitwallet to pay it for you. I actually use them, and I've spoken to the founder of Bitwala a few times, and they're very happy with this funding that they received. And also, interestingly enough, they're also looking for people that they're hiring people at the moment. So if you want to work in the blockchain space or in the Bitcoin space, Bitwala is hiring. So he was looking for good people to start working there. And just another thing, showing that Bitcoin is creating more jobs as well.
Yeah, this is such an exciting space. Absolutely exciting. Wow.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, Tracy, one of the biggest investors in Bitwala is the Deutsche Post, the German post office, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Okay, Bitcoin Core opens doors to outside funding with sponsorship program. It's actually quite interesting this, because it just seems that there's just so much funding going on. So many people are throwing money at Bitcoin, throwing money at startup companies as well as blockchain technology. Or on the development side. Here's another one that Massachusetts Institute of Technology announced a $900,000 support fund promoting Bitcoin development. So it's just happening all over.
If you count up all these news stories, all these funds that's being allocated to Bitcoin, it's really, it's counting up to hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars now.
Yes. No, absolutely. So very exciting. There's another one I had to put in. Overstock invests $4 million in Barbados Bitcoin startup. So yeah, this is actually a Caribbean digital currency exchange, and Overstock is an online retailer. So they actually are invested in this business now.
Overstock was one of the first online retailers, and they're one of the biggest online retailers in the world. They were one of the first online retailers to accept Bitcoin, and they are very open, to because they want to go international and want everybody to be able to buy their products. And if you can sell everything just priced in Bitcoin, it makes your life much easier. So Overstock is very bullish on Bitcoin.
Awesome. Okay, Circle Inc.'s bank deal with Barclays after UK regulator approval. So Circle is a Bitcoin wallet startup company, and it's been granted an electronic money license from a top UK financial regulator.
So interesting. Circle, the biggest investor in Circle is Goldman Sachs.
Yes.
And now they're doing a deal with Barclays. So Goldman Sachs is doing a deal with Barclays. So tell me the banks are not involved in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. You mentioned just before this about, where London and the UK are in terms of financial markets.
Well, just announced about 2 days ago that London has now overtaken New York again as the #1 financial center in the world. And the main reason being the vibrant Finland. And, and fintech, fintech now is almost exclusively blockchain development and stuff like that. Yeah. So, London is on the forefront again of this new technology, and the City of London is very, very good at, new financial services and stuff like that. And it's like I said, they've overtaken New York, and they're at the forefront.
Fantastic. Okay, here's another startup, a Bitcoin wallet startup now extending credit to users, and this is actually a company based in Argentina, and they are going to be able to borrow between $500 and $1,000 to people. So yeah, obviously it's got they've obviously got checks in place in terms of what the user's salary, all that type of thing. So it's going to be quite
Tracy, micro lending. You know, I'm bullish on micro lending. I've involved with micro lending myself, but micro lending is a viable business model. It's a proven business model, and these guys are just using micro lending to actually enhance their Bitcoin business. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yes. Okay. So blockchain tech will make banks disappear in 10 years, says VP of Russia's biggest bank. And an interesting quote from someone from Russia, with Russia wanting to ban Bitcoin. But apparently this was his opinion, and he spoke at a Metro Expo 2006, which is an industry conference. But, you know, obviously we know that banks are not going to really disappear, but they are going to just change the way they do business.
Absolutely. I mean, the banks are already changing the way they're doing business. They already, all of them are getting involved in the blockchain and investing in this. And, you know, you're going to have Bitcoin on your credit and debit card very, very shortly. And it's just going to happen overnight.
Yeah, so exciting. Wow. That
Very
actually
exciting.
means that, you know, with the banks getting involved, it means that more and more people will be involved, and more people will start seeing their Bitcoin on their statements, or, you know, on their cards, that they can actually buy in Bitcoin as well. So, yeah, good.
And you'll see more and more products and stuff that you can only use Bitcoin for.
Yes.
That's happening as well.
Fantastic. You know, I'm so excited, Peter, because, you know, every single week, the news is just getting more and more and more, and there's just more and more adoption and more interest and more money spent thrown at the technology. So honestly, if you know, if you are not involved in Bitcoin, it's definitely time to start.
Well, you know, you said it. I'm in it. So, you know, I'm like a broken record. Somebody asked me the other day, should I invest all my money in Bitcoin? I said, don't ask me for that financial advice, because I'm the wrong person to ask. Because I'm so bullish on Bitcoin, I would say yes. So, you know, the thing is, you're not going to get this opportunity again. And also, if you have Bitcoins and you need to make those Bitcoins grow. So, you know, don't just sit on them and wait. The prices will go up, but there's many ways for you to grow your Bitcoins as well. But yeah, I think, Tracy, the main thing is, again, you know, repeat it every week. People should follow our YouTube channel and sign up onto our Facebook page and get themselves educated on what's happening in the Bitcoin market. Our vision is to, you know, we are not trying to go into all the technical details of Bitcoin and stuff like that. We are trying to, in plain language, explain this to normal people, to consumers. And, you know, that's just why we do the news review, so that people can, you know, start to get a normal feel about something that is going to become part of our daily lives. So that is our vision, is to bring Bitcoin news and Bitcoin education to the masses.
Yeah, it's, you know, and it's a revolution, hey? And it's already started, and you just really need to. People just need to get involved. It doesn't matter how small, you know, you start, as long as you start, because you don't want to kick yourself a year down the track when you say, oh my goodness, you know what, the price was. When I listened to the news and review, you know, on the 7th of April, the price was around about $421, and now the price is over $1,000. Why didn't I buy?
Exactly. So yeah. So, you know, like Tracy says, just start growing your wealth with Bitcoin. But like I always say, the first step is to get educated. Join our news channel and join our Facebook page.
Absolutely. So thank you very much, Peter, and I'll see you next week.
We see each other next week, same time, same place.